The idea for a Johnson County Edcamp started in 2018. My friend April Schoenberg and I were on our way home from Minnesota, where we had just attended a free Edcamp that was sponsored by Flipgrid. We were talking about all the wonderful things we wanted to do when we got back, and one of my ideas was, what if we brought an Edcamp to Johnson County, to our area? And that idea quickly flourished. When we got home from the trip, we started assembling a team and trying to get some other people on board with this idea, and we started planning for the following year. And in 2019, we held our first Johnson County Edcamp. We had over 100 in attendance, stretching as far from Wichita, Kansas to Nebraska, and we had people from both Missouri and Kansas represented. It was a success. We learned a lot about Edcamp and managing a team, but we quickly got started planning for the following year. What we didn't expect was shortly before our event was supposed to take off, COVID-19 hit, and we were unable to meet in person. I was crushed. I was so disappointed that our second Edcamp wasn't going to happen. So I threw out the idea of what if we made this virtual? And my team immediately said, yes, let's do it. This brings me to one of the most important aspects of an Edcamp. It's all about the people. Every year at Edcamp, I usually try to remind attendees how important it is to find your people. When you want to take a risk or try something new or be innovative, it's important that you have people surrounding you, cheering you on. I have a favorite coffee mug and it says, "You are too much for some people. Those are not your people." Edcamp would not be possible without this team, and it would not be possible without you. I often get told, "You're too ambitious, Ariel. You need to be more realistic." But we have survived 2 Edcamps virtually during a pandemic, and we are getting ready to walk into our 5th annual Edcamp, and we get to be in person, which is exciting. Over the past 4 years, we've had 1,100 people register for our Edcamp events. And because of virtual, that was represented by 20 different states and 3 different countries. You know, it used to bother me when people would give me a hard time about being too ambitious or doing too much, but I've decided that there's no such thing as being too ambitious. So, what should you expect coming to Edcamp? You'll find yourself surrounded by educators who chose to give up their Saturday to connect and learn from each other. We will start and end our time together where you will be inspired to think big and dream. The breakout sessions are topics created by you, and you get to choose where you want to go, depending on what you're passionate about or what you're curious about. We'll make sure you're well fed, and we have lots of amazing prizes to give away. By the time you leave, you will feel empowered, energized, and connected. We hope to see you in April.